The Texas Parks and Wildlife television series is funded in part by a grant from the Wildlife and Sport Fish Restoration Program. Through your purchases of hunting and fishing equipment and motorboat fuels, over $50 million in conservation efforts are funded in Texas each year. And by Texas Parks and Wildlife Foundation, helping to keep Texas wild with the support of proud members across the state. Find out more at tpwf.org. Additional funding provided by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram. Coming up on Texas Parks and Wildlife.
We think about these concepts as sustainability for kids and young people. And when you look at him, you realize that it's never too late.
Tree and debris was just folded over, snapped in half. Could have been a lot worse.
There's nothing more unique to West Texas than the pronghorn antelope.
They're just part of the landscape. I can't imagine not seeing them.
Texas Parks and Wildlife, a television series for all outdoors.
Our place is a little too ragged looking to suit most people from the city. The more rugged this place looks within reason, the better I like it.
They are the epitome of what our Creator wants us to be, and what Aldo Leopold, the father of conservation, expects us to be.
It's funny how things change over time, how your plant diversity changes with probably the management of your place.
You know, if I were him, I'd say, well, I'm going to sit back and enjoy it, and he's still going, you know, and he's still doing research, and he's still implementing new things. It just amazes me how much enthusiasm both of them have.
We think about these concepts as sustainability for kids and young people. And when you look at him, you realize that it's never too late. He admits to you that they did it wrong for so many years.
The first thing I planted up here was coastal Bermuda grass. We thought it was a wonder grass. Turned out it really wasn't. Those seeds might be viable.
You know, it was a prevalent idea at the time, so they planted all the Bermuda grass that they could, and you know, he was doing this research and realizing before everyone else, these native grasses are actually the way to go.
If you have some native grass and then some other pasture grasses, forbs, legumes, you've got an insurance policy that will benefit you in these drought years that we've had.
When you go into the native prairies where the native grasses are, that's when you get this beautiful idea of what it's supposed to look like. And when you reach down and you see that the temperature is 20 degrees cooler underneath there and that it's still moist when the whole rest of the ground is cracking, you go, oh, duh, now I get it.
This grass is growing from seed that we gathered growing wild along the shoulder of State Highway. We've got a little nursery down in open place in one of these riparian easements. Most of the grass you see right in here is eastern gamma grass. There was one stock tank on the place when I acquired it, and now we've got 5 stock tanks. I just hated to see it run off. We've got one in particular that stays almost full most of the time. Cattle are very important. Cattle take 20% of what they graze away from the land and leave 80%. That's a pretty good trade-off.
Wilda and Bert both understand that they're not raising cattle, they're growing grass. And cattle are just one of the tools used to manage that grass.
I can remember the first cross fence we had on this place where we had 2 pastures instead of 1. Well, you don't do much rotation with 2 pastures, but it was an improvement over the way we were grazing.
And my mom is awesome. She is that quiet sort of force and energy behind a lot of what goes on up here, helping us all to see, you know, the rainbow.
She's been a great help to me in what we've done up here, and is still very enthusiastic about what we're trying to do in the future.
I'm getting this mesquite that got too big for me.
They have the faith that anticipates it happening, and they have the hope that believes it will happen, and they have the patience that quietly awaits for it to happen.
Start as soon as you can. And someday, people are going to look across the fence and they're going to realize what you're doing and how that would benefit the whole county if everybody did it.
My name's Ethan Belichick. I'm the park superintendent at Blanco State Park. The thing that flows through it behind me is the Blanco River. Memorial Day last year started out pretty typical. The weather had been raining for 2 or 3 weeks. That particular day was my wife and I's 6th anniversary.
We were going to grill out. Unfortunately, couldn't sit around a fire because it was pouring rain.
I looked across the river to where our new playground was, and it was underwater.
Up in the campsites, it was, even though the river wasn't up there, it was, the campsites were still flooded almost, this was from the rain, a foot. It was up to my knees.
We started gathering people because they were just looking for somewhere to go.
So as the river started rising, going over our low water crossing, those had to be closed off, and all those people on this side of the park went up to the residence, Ethan Belichick's house.
We immediately changed our plans from a nice relaxing afternoon to taking care of things, getting people up, getting them safe, and make sure we got through the night okay.
That next morning, I get a call from Ethan. He said, when you go in, start documenting.
We had a 20 feet to 40 foot wall of water come through the park. It was impassable.
I've got the camera ready, and I see just debris everywhere. Sorry. Tree and debris was just folded over, snapped in half. Just the sand, the dead fish, the fence lines pushed over. And then, of course, the maintenance shop, just windows broken out of it. And everything, all the equipment just gone or just washed out. Mud everywhere. Could have been a lot worse.
I think we all breathed a pretty grateful sigh of relief that we hadn't lost anything but property, and that can be replaced. We didn't get anybody hurt. We didn't have anybody lose their life, and yeah, I consider that a blessing. We're a community here, as I mentioned earlier, we're inside the city limits. So the flood didn't just happen to Blanco State Park. It happened to our neighbors in the community. We had a tremendous outpour of support. I know one lady said, you've got an army waiting, just take advantage of it. That statement alone probably helped me realize we're gonna get through this. We're gonna rebuild this park and we're gonna get back on our feet.
There was a lot of heartfelt, genuine, I want to help.
Stand by and see where the water came up.
It wasn't just Blanco that was hit, it was Wimberley, it was San Marcos. So everyone's heart was tied just all the way down the river.
I definitely want to say that it was not a single effort. I had a team here, and we are most definitely that here at Blanco. We're a team. When all was said and done after the cleanup, we ended up taking 432 trailer loads of debris out of here.
I'm just glad we had the team we had. As you can see today, the park is beautiful.
I'm proud that they had the common goal that this needs to get back into the public's hands so that they can start sharing memories again.
My wife and I did finally get to cook our anniversary steaks 3 or 4 days later. Every year around Memorial Day, several people call and ask we're having steaks if they should get the boats ready. So we may try chicken next year.
These researchers are trying to solve a puzzle.
It's gonna be up on the side of the hill, Sean. I told you. In a coyote den.
They are looking for a missing pronghorn antelope.
Pretty close now. There it is.
All that's left of this particular animal is a radio tracking collar.
Well, I think it's probably predation. Because we don't have any body on this collar, we can't determine anything other than it's gone.
But this much is known. Pronghorn antelope are fading away suddenly in a place they were once abundant.
There's nothing more unique to West Texas than the pronghorn antelope.
Until 4 or 5 years ago, they were just part of the landscape.
We've just seen a huge decline. When we lose the pronghorn, we lose a little bit of us. And we've got to figure it out here pretty quick before it's too late.
Above the fields of the Texas Panhandle, a helicopter hauls some unusual cargo. These pronghorn are being transported from far north Texas to supplement populations in West Texas.
You used to be able to drive from Valentine to Marfa and maybe see 200 or 300 of them just from the highway. And now you're lucky if you see one.
To help the dwindling herds around Marfa, Texas Parks and Wildlife is transporting some 200 pronghorn from the northern panhandle. Pronghorn are the fastest land mammals in North America, so catching them is not easy. After a 9-hour drive, the pronghorn take their first steps into their new home.
Hang on, I just want to check on this one here. Billy, you want to take a look in?
Biologists will monitor the new arrivals and study their fawns born in the spring.
We're hopeful that they will prosper and do well. The best feeling is going to be when they start making babies and when these populations come back to what they used to be.
The population began to crash in 2008.
5 dead here, 4 dead there.
And we blamed a lot of that on the drought, but we began to get rains and watched the antelope continue to decline, and then we knew we had a problem.
To unravel the mystery, Professor Lewis Harvison and his wildlife management students began to investigate causes of mortality.
We started sampling some of the pronghorn, and one of the first clues that we found from those necropsies was the homunculus.
This common pronghorn parasite was being found in alarming numbers.
If you have thousands of these worms in your stomach, then obviously you become anemic, you're weakened, you're not going to evade predators and cold spells and heat spells like you would if you were a more healthy animal.
The stomach worms may be just one prong of the pronghorn problem, but initial findings make way for further study.
You picking up this one right here? Is that one from over here? Or?
Yeah.
How many were predator related?
So far?
Yeah.
5 we contributed to some type of predation.
Right, but the picture you showed me.
By summer, Marfa has not been very welcoming to those relocated pronghorn.
There's not a lot out there for a pronghorn to eat, so it's just pretty rough on them right now.
It's going down on the record as one of the worst droughts that we've experienced.
And drought has not been the only challenge.
We've had several huge fires in the Trans-Pecos region.
A lot of livestock have been lost, a lot of fences have been lost, hundreds of thousands of acres. But in the end, if there is a silver lining, it is that those rangelands actually will come back in healthier condition if and when we ever get rainfall.
What little rain has fallen has heightened another threat. Runoff has greened up the roadsides, making these perilous places all too tempting to wildlife.
Within the last few weeks, we've had several vehicle collisions.
And there may be other connections to the drought.
It's pretty dry. They don't have a lot to choose from. You know, they're going all day long.
Without enough weeds and forbs, poor nutrition could be a piece of the puzzle.
They have to expend a lot of energy to come find one piece to do any good.
They could be filling up on some sort of vegetation, but they're not really getting what they need to survive.
Pronghorn survival here ultimately depends on the health of their offspring, so fawn mortality is the focus of graduate student James Weaver's research.
Been experiencing some extremely low fawn crops throughout the region, and so I'm out here trying to figure out why. It's really good if you can spot a doe right before dark and see the fawn up and watch it till it beds down. Finding the fawn is the hard thing. And that's the only fawn that's still around, so I think that they just have fawned and perished. Yeah.
The researchers watch the herd until sundown in hopes they can locate fawns after dark. Armed with spotlights, they scan for eyes on the horizon.
You see something? Our population is pretty sparse, so we spend a lot of time just searching. Yeah, those big eyes there. Just keep going like this and we'll go right back down. Sometimes we come across them pretty quick. Other nights we've spent several hours out here and not caught a thing. There he is.
Oh. The fawns may be young, but they're already fast.
Got him, got him. Oh,
how'd we miss it?
These are very labor-intensive research projects.
He won this battle.
The crew gives up the chase for the first fawn, but for the rest of the night, the captures go smoothly.
Good catch, James. Nice snag, dude. That worked. It did work. We got one. That's a big one, too. Okay, baby, okay. The main thing is the weight. The weight's really a strong correlation to survival. Nope. So the heavier the animals are at birth, the more likely they are to survive. 9 pounds. Okay. Where's the clipboard? We measure them from the nose to the tail head. 7. Look at new hoof growth.
Dam present.
Yes. We put ear tags in the animal, and then we also collar it. All right. We had some success.
It was a good night. We've had some really hard nights so far. This was a pretty good night.
The fawn seems dazed at first, but as the crew packs up, it is off and running again. Hopefully, onto a long life as an adult pronghorn.
You did good, except that one catch and release. That was.
Well, it's gonna be early night. We're gonna be home by 3.
What am I gonna do till 5 in the morning?
We've got a great team working on this, so I'm very hopeful that we'll find answers.
As research into the plight of the pronghorn builds, so does support for this West Texas icon.
It keeps you going to know that you're helping the species out. It's definitely a joint effort.
In the midst of a drought, optimism's hard to embrace, but I think we have the right team together. Everyone wants to know what's going on with the pronghorn, and so I know with that kind of support from the community, we can turn this around.
The sunrise here at Choke Canyon is just extravagant. Just the different colors that come through, the birds in the background. it's just all worth getting up early in the morning just to hear and view that.
Halfway between San Antonio and Corpus Christi, Choke Canyon State Park may be quiet, but it's never dull.
If you're looking for an outdoor experience that will keep you busy the whole time you're visiting here at the park, Choke Canyon's the place to go. You can view the birds, you can catch the fish. There we go. You can relax and just enjoy nature at its best.
Located on the Great Texas Coastal Birding Trail, Choke Canyon is a grand central station for migrating birds.
You see where those egrets are over there? Snow egrets and great egrets.
A variety of other critters make their home here too.
See a rabbit, a cute little rabbit.
And if you think it's lively on land, wait until you try the water.
Oh yeah, here's one. Yeah, I got another one.
The 26,000-acre Choke Canyon Reservoir is one of the best-kept fishing secrets in Texas.
There he is, folks, Choke Canyon. Look at the gut on that fish.
It's also a place to reconnect with what's important in life.
All of our grandkids have been down here. Every one of them's come down here with us and camped with us and saw the gators with us. Because I think camping and fishing is family.
Sometimes a little nature can go a long way.
We're at Balcones Canyonlands National Wildlife Refuge, where we have the endangered black-capped vireo, and here we're studying their reproductive success. This species builds its nests about 3 to 4 feet off the ground in shrubs or small trees. The nests typically have 3 to 4 young in them. These chicks are about 2 days old. They're totally reliant on their parents. Here you can see both birds at the nest. You can see they look a little different. The mom has a gray cap, the dad has a dark black cap, hence the name black-capped vireo. This is something people may find gross, but the chicks produce their poop in a little sack that's kind of like a diaper with the poop in it. Both parents will either eat the sack or carry it away from the nest and dispose of it to keep the nest clean. These chicks will grow about 800% over the course of the next 10 to 12 days before they fledge. Under optimum conditions, they'll continue to breed throughout the summer, and if everything works out, they can actually produce up to 2 successful broods in 1 year. This species is endangered, but we're creating a lot of habitat on the refuge and elsewhere. And with continued success, we may see that this species recovers and is able to be taken off the endangered species list sometime in the future.
Everybody ready?
This series is funded in part by a grant from the Wildlife and Sport Fish Restoration Program. Through your purchases of hunting and fishing equipment and motorboat fuels, over $50 million in conservation efforts are funded in Texas each year. And by Texas Parks and Wildlife Foundation, helping to keep Texas wild with the support of proud members across the state. Find out more at tpwf.org. Additional funding provided by Ram Trucks. Guts, Glory, Ram.